fourth down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Dorsey under pressure, throws in.
Welcome in, Buckeye back.
Incomplete. The Buckeyes win.
Ezekiel Elliott, and he's got an opening. Elliott off to the races. Can they catch him?
Feature the two backs as receivers, and now a downfield shot on first down for the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State strikes first. Making the judgments again, and there is Smith running free from Chicago. Ohio State strikes quickly from 45 yards. Pressure comes. Shaw knocked it out and gets it out. Jack Shaw coming down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score and dagger from 82 yards. Here they come. Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. It's Smith. He's got it. Jeremiah Smith. 2025 college football national champion Coach Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Welcome in, Buckeye backers. We are bringing it to you live from Seattle, Washington, to the cornfields of Enid, Ohio. We are the pulse of Buckeye fans across the nation, with Seattle Matt and Buckeye Steve. Welcome in, Buckeye backers. It is just another day, another week. At least that's what Ryan Day's been saying. It is rivalry week. We are ready. We are here with Gareon Conley. Welcome to the show. We got the 2017 first-round draft pick, national champion, and four-time Gold Pants recipient. I also forgot to mention, you have an island named after you. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you being here. The first thing I want to ask you really is about the rehab process. You're trying to make that comeback, getting back into professional football. How's that going for you, and where are you training at?
I live in Houston. I've been rehabbing and training basically in like a suburb of Houston. That's where I live at. I just go to like fields that are around my house and do like my own training. And then I do like my own strength training at this gym. So I rent at a gym and I train other people. So
Awesome.
I do like all my own stuff. And then I have like a PT that helps me, like he does like dry needling and soft tissue whenever I have like little aches and pains or anything like that. But basically mostly stuff on my own. I do that for about like 4 years to get back into the league. I played in the UFL and then went to Dallas and I got signed to Dallas training camp last year, and my leg was just still like hurting really bad. It was throbbing and all that. So I actually had a rod in my leg since 2017. I got it taken out this past March, and it was just to take it out. It wasn't to play again. But I just felt really good and felt like how I felt before I got the rod in. So I just told like my family, I was like, I'm gonna try one more time. So that's where I'm at right now. But I feel really good now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, Cody, who got you set up, Cody Croy, does all our articles on recruits and Buckeyes in the big league. And he is the one that reached out to you, got you on, and he's actually been a big fan of the Defenders. So he wanted to get on and ask you a couple questions. So, Cody, welcome to the show, brother.
Glad to be here. Gareon, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm great. Good to hear. So, like Steve was saying, my fandom for the DC Defenders came from you. Before that, I was a Vipers fan in the XFL, and then UFL came together. They were no more, so I switched to the Defenders. And I just got to ask, how you feeling? Because I know that you signed with Dallas, as you mentioned, and then you got that injury. You're hungry to come back to football, whether that be the NFL or the UFL. So how you feeling?
Yeah, I feel really good. That's what I was just telling him. Like, I got the rod out of my leg, and I just was like working out and doing my normal training stuff because I'm just always like active and competitive. And I started to like run and do stuff, and I was just like, man, I'm not feeling the same pain that I was feeling before. And I was just like, it was in me. I was just like, I gotta try one more time. Not a lot of people know, like, I had 7 surgeries basically. I had like 4 major ones, and then I had screws and stuff in my legs to get them taken out. So I count them as surgeries. The NFL didn't, but I count them as surgeries. So I had filed for like a disability, and they were like, "Oh, you didn't get it because those aren't counted surgeries, whatever."
Wow.
But
That's
I
terrible.
I had a rod in my leg from rookie year for a stress fracture, which I should have never got the rod in the first place. But I was pressured to get it. I wanted to play. They told me it could heal quick and I'll come back quicker. That's all I heard. So first round pick, being pressured, all this stuff that goes into it. I just got the rod and I shouldn't have. I should have let it heal on its own. I didn't. So I had more complications. Started having like throbbing and aching and heaviness to my leg every time I run, jump, or cut. Found out I ended up having like nerve damage and had multiple surgeries, and it just nothing was working. I still yet have to this day have been told where my pain was actually coming from.
Wow.
But I got the rod out regardless of playing football or not, and I was just like, man, I feel really good. So
Good to
I was
hear.
like,
Good
yeah,
to
I'm gonna
hear.
try it one more time. Yeah.
So the UFL, they're adding some new teams.
Mhm.
The Columbus Aviators, I believe. What
Yeah.
would that kind of mean to you to return to Columbus? Is the Aviators a team that you would like to play for?
Yeah, I'm a very humble guy, so wherever opportunity is for me, that's where I'll go. I talked to my agent though. He said that I mean it would make sense to them if they would put me with the Columbus team because of marketing reasons and all that.
Sure.
Of course, I would love to play for Columbus too because my family's there and then Buckeye Nation is right there. So, but I did tell him I was like, if I get to choose, it would be either Houston or Columbus because of my family and I live in Houston,
Right.
immediate family. But like I said, anywhere there's an opportunity, like that's where like I can't be a beggar, can't be a chooser, like
Absolutely.
for real.
Well, I think we're going to go to commercial and we're going to discuss
Actually,
Michigan.
Actually, before we do, we got to run back this play and get your feelings. Walk us through what this felt like.
Broken down at 8. As
Big six,
Mayfield
baby.
throws and it's picked off out of deflection. Gareon Conley inside the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown. There it is. A takeaway by the secondary.
Man, it's surreal. I get chills looking at that, man, because that was my first interception in the league, man. It's just crazy. Like
Not only
pick
that,
six.
it was against your hometown boys, the Browns, man. How did that feel?
It felt great. I know a lot of people from home are watching. It felt great to do that against Baker too, because that was a year after he planted the flag on the Buckeye
Oh yeah, and
lockout.
he said something about your D too, didn't he? Call you basic
Our
defense?
our basic defense. Yeah, when
Oh
we
no,
whooped
that was the
their ass.
backup quarterback, but still, yeah.
Yeah, but we whooped their ass that year too.
Oh
So
yeah,
it felt really good for sure.
it was BTA for sure. Yeah, that was an awesome game, man. You guys balled out. And what was it about Urban Meyer and away games, man? Big matchups and away games. He was on point always.
Yeah, I think his big thing, and him and Coach Mick always said it was like we gotta win on the road. Like that was one of their big emphasis. Obviously we gotta win at home too, but we gotta win on the road. We gotta run the ball when we go on the road. We gotta win the trenches when we go on the road.
Mhm.
And obviously everything else falls in line. But I think the big thing about Urban, what I love is, and I tell kids because I train kids out here in Houston, I tell them all the time, it's like he made practices and workouts and training, whatever. He made everything that wasn't a game so hard and so chaotic and stressful. So when we got to games, it was easy. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's why we really succeeded under him.
For sure. We got a real quick commercial we got to get to before we get to talking about the team up north and that dub that we got to get from the Buckeyes. All right. So I'm going to play this commercial. It's going to be right up your alley, I promise. Here we go.
All right.
Time and tries to get it to Williams, intercepted by Gareon Conley along the sidelines.
Cut that.
He anticipated the route going out to the corner. What?
Lobs it out, intercepted. Coming up to make the pick was Gareon Conley, who read the quarterback and closed in.
Conley sitting there in zone. I think he was expecting man-to-man, and Conley jumps the route.
Winnibrick down the sidelines, a risky throw, diving attempt, picked off again by Conley. His second interception tonight.
And then running stride for stride with Wheelwright. This is just exceptional. They're going to take a close look to see if the ball touched the ground. It looked like his right elbow, right arm got underneath the ball.
Inside is 5. That's a wobbly one downfield, and it is intercepted by Gareon Conley.
Mayfield to throw. Steps in near side. Broken up at the last moment. Great job, Gareon Conley.
Man.
There we go. There's that basic D. Man, so what we really wanted to know, and we got to start off with, Cody, just ask him about that commitment that he had to start it all off, man.
Yeah. So this game, I would imagine it holds a little more weight in your situation because you were a former Michigan commit.
Yeah.
Kind of take us through that process of not only decommitting from the Wolverines, but then flipping to your hometown, Ohio State.
Yeah. I was a hooper growing up. Never played football until 7th grade was my first time playing football. 8th grade, I played quarterback. And then freshman year, I didn't play at all. Sophomore year, I was number 97 on JV. Didn't even get in on JV. And then my first year of varsity football was my junior year, and I played corner for the first time. And I did well. I got an offer from Northwestern and like a couple other schools. And then Team Up North offered me, and I went on a visit. That was my first college experience, college visit experience, everything. And if you go on a recruiting visit, they try to get you to commit. They do everything they can. They show you all the bells and whistles. They tell you they want you to play all this stuff. So
Right.
they asked me, they're like, you want to come here? And I'm just like, hell yeah, I want to come here. Like, I want to go to college, So that was a verbal commitment. And it was like, I didn't know that meant like I didn't know anything about like college recruiting or anything. So I didn't take it as like, oh, I'm committed and I'm coming here. It was just like, yeah, I'm gonna come here, whatever. Excuse me. So at that time, or right after that, I started to play offense and defense the next year, and I started getting more offers and looks. And I actually wanted to go to Cincinnati because my quarterback was committed there, and they told me I could play offense. I wanted to play receiver. And that's when I started to get like recruited by Vrabel and Fick and Coach Meyer. They were coming to the school, but they had not offered me. They had not like gave me a visit, anything. They were just coming to the school and talking to me. And it was rumors just going around, I guess, that I was going to visit Ohio State when really I was going to visit Cincinnati. So Greg Madison, who was the guy recruiting me at the time, he came, or he didn't even come. He called me. Who was like, "Hey, we have a no visit policy. Like, we'll pull your scholarship." So I took that as a threat, and I was like, well, I'm decommitting. And but he like told me, he was like, you don't want to go up there to Ohio State and visit. They're a bunch of liars, and they don't keep their word, whatever. And in my head, I didn't even say anything, but just in my head, I'm like, I never even had a visit to Ohio State. Like, so I was just like, but either way, I was like, you threatening me? I'm like, I'm going to decommit. But I waited until he came. So he does like his little normal checkup where he comes to the school. And I was just like, I'm decommitting. He was like, wait, why? And then I was like, I don't want to come there. Like, y'all threatened to pull my scholarship. I don't like that. So I decommitted. And then I actually wanted to go to Oregon too because they had nice uniforms. They came all the way to my practice, like from Oregon, just to watch me practice. So I'm like, I'm going to get an offer from there. And they didn't come to my rival game, and Coach Meyer and I think it was Vrabel did. So when they showed up at my rival game, it was just like, man, they like are real. And then that's when I had an official visit to Ohio State. And then when I went there on that official visit, it was just like no brainer. Like I was like, yeah, I want to come here.
Urban got out that spatula, huh?
Yeah. So that's why I flipped quick. And then I wanted to beat them like just because they threatened me. And the worst part, it was that Greg Madison ended up coaching at Ohio State. And I was just like, bro, what happened to them being a whole bunch of liars and all this? It's
You know,
crazy.
It's
Did you say
interesting.
that to him?
No, he didn't. He tried not to look at me and make eye
Yeah.
contact when I see him there.
It's interesting you mentioned that. There was a Michigan player earlier this week that actually talked about, Ohio State's culture and how their coaches are a bunch of liars. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's no truth to that. And there's some brainwashing that goes on
Yeah.
whenever you commit to the rival school. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like coaches all over though, they say things. Sometimes it resonates the wrong way with people, but sometimes they just say things because it's recruiting. Like you just say things and say things. You trying to get kids there. I don't believe in that, but I mean, coaches everywhere do it. But again, I don't understand why people say it about Ohio State. Like clearly, everyone that goes there, unless they're just a total dickhead, like they become successful on or off the field, so
For sure.
doesn't make sense.
So you talked about Coach Vrabel being one of your recruiters.
Yeah.
Is it a surprise that he's doing so well with the New England Patriots after having previously having such a bad year? Is his ability to coach as a head coach, could you see that whenever you were visiting Ohio State?
Yeah, for sure. He was there my first year, when I redshirted at Ohio State. But just the way he's like a genuine person, but he doesn't tolerate anything. And I just remember my freshman year, and I mean, I don't feel like that's why he left. He used to always say, be a pro, be a pro, be a pro. And he used to always like tell us like, I hate you kids, like you so immature, like you don't know how to be pros, blah blah blah. And I feel like that's why he went to the NFL because he was just like he knows like there's grown men everywhere. He doesn't have to deal with like immaturity and all that stuff. So he knows how to be a pro. And then obviously he was a pro, won Super Bowls, so he's the perfect example to follow. So I feel like and then, like I said, he doesn't tolerate anything. So his culture is gonna definitely get people to be a winning culture. So I feel like that's why he does such a successful job right now. And people just like know him as a genuine person too. Like I feel like in the NFL, once you get there, it's all about like character and like discipline and all that. Like obviously everybody is at the highest level talent wise and all that. But now, how are we gonna win? And as a player in the NFL and as a grown man, you want to play for somebody you can trust and that is genuine. So I feel like they're rallying behind him because he is that type of person.
Right. I just have one more question for you, and then we'll get Adam in here. But, the preparation for this game, crossing out the M's, the video board, bulletin board material. Urban Meyer was an intense coach, throwing headsets and doing all these crazy things.
Yeah.
How was it kind of different this particular game? What was his preparation, his mentality like just the week leading up to this game?
Yeah. I mean, it just intensified. You would think it was a national championship game, but even more, like times two. Like I said before, like Coach Meyer, he made everything so hard already, but just this week it just meant more. And then obviously like the rivalry itself just goes back to history of how much it means to the program. And I just remember like being recruited talking about it. And it's like that's how important it is. You're talking about the rivalry before you even step on campus. Like it shows how important it is. And then two, we have a clock all over the facility of a countdown of when we play. Like, and I tell people all the time, like, yeah, we want to win a national championship for sure, but there's no clock countdown to the national championship in the facility. There's a countdown clock for when we play this team up north. There's a team up north workout every Thursday. Like we don't have a national championship workout every Thursday. We have a team up north workout every Thursday. We don't put helmets of the team that we're playing in the playoffs or the national championship. But when we play the team up north, the scout team has the helmets. They have the logo of the team up north. They put the jerseys on. Like it means something different. We do the band tradition. They come to the practice. Like it's obviously something that means a lot to the program. So it definitely means a lot to win this game. And regardless of the records, if they're shitty, if we're shitty, which we never really are, but we treat it like everybody number one, number two. We treat it like both are number ones. Like we treat it like there's a 0-0 record. It doesn't matter. Like we go into that game because we know it's gonna be a dogfight.
Gareon, I want to thank you for your time. I think Steve's going to ask you some more questions. I'm going to go off for the night, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Cody. I actually got one from the locker room. We call our comment section the locker room. So they got a good question here. All right. Coming from Rod Farva. You got to rank them, the rivalries, the game, Massillon versus McKinley, and the Raiders versus the Chief.
Yeah, I mean, the game is one. The game is one, obviously because of the tradition and history, but it's just a bigger fan base, there's more people involved, and just the height of the player development and all the stuff like that goes into it. It's just it's one for sure. Massillon McKinley, I'm gonna go to because it's just a mini the game. Like Massillon McKinley has a tradition and a crazy history as well. But people don't even realize unless they go to the game or unless they really know about Massillon McKinley game. But like when we win the game in Massillon, like that game, we ride downtown and they close off the roads like how Super Bowl champions do. We're on a bus and everybody's out there like looking at us. We have a big bonfire like downtown. Like it's big. Like that's a big rivalry. To do all that in high school is like crazy. Like we don't even go to class for real all week. Like they paint the school, signs all over the school. Like we get out of school early on Friday, have a pep rally. Like it's just crazy. And then
that's the
Raiders
real deal.
Chiefs. Yeah, Raiders Chiefs third for sure.
Man,
But,
that sounds insane to me. Put the NFL rivalry last.
Massillon McKinley's different, man.
That's crazy. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring AJ in here. He had a really good question that he was coming up with. So, AJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. And then, how y'all doing? Hope y'all are ready for Thanksgiving, man. Hopefully that bird is cooking tomorrow and tasting delicious. I'm ready to eat as always. But yeah, listen to you talk. You talk about Fickle and Meyer, and Brable coming to your practice. Out of those three, who's like the most intense? Who's that one guy? That's just like, yo, he's bringing that fire,
Vrabel.
Whatever you want to call it.
Vrabel easily. Vrabel is just he's hype all the time. I remember he smashed his head on one of the players' helmets before the game because he was so hyped. Like busted his head open before the game. Like he definitely the most hype for sure. I don't know about Urban and Fickle. They kind of tied. It just depends on like the type of time, but I think Urban's definitely up there too. But Vrabel definitely number one for sure.
I got to ask you, I mean, you obviously never lost to Michigan. This current roster is 0-4. I mean, some of the guys haven't played, obviously, the freshmen or maybe 0-2, 0-3. How do you think that their mindset has to change in order to get on top of this? They were obviously the better team last year. What do they got to do to change either in preparation or just within game adjustments? What do you think is missing there?
I think just the mentally like toughness part of it. Attacking the game like it's the game like before. I've heard coaches, I'm not saying names, but I've heard coaches say it doesn't define the program. And it's just like I don't get that. It does define the program. Like I said before, you talk about this game before you even step foot on campus. We have meetings and watch video. Like we watch everything about this game. We know everything about this game, the tradition leading up to this game. Like I said, the clock, the whole campus, the school is like crossing off M's. Like it's that important. So to say it doesn't define the program, I just don't get it. And even if you don't mean it like that, just word it differently or say something different. But I think the emphasis needs to be understood. Like this game is that important and it does define our program. And that's the culture. That's the standard that's been set way before me, way before any of the players that are there and coaches that are there now has been set too. And it has to be reaffirmed and reconfirmed that that is the standard and that is the point of this game.
Well, Herb always said, you don't have to get people motivated for games like this. You come show up. So it's not about the pregame speech against Michigan. More about the pregame speech versus Purdue. That's when you need the motivation. So I don't know if maybe Ryan Day and the staff were trying to pump up the guys during the week in previous years a little bit too much and kind of wasting that energy and that hype.
Yeah.
But it seems like this year they're kind of dialing it down and trying to make everything a more normal process and maybe get that hype up closer to the game. Does that sound like something that might be the right approach to get over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the team. One thing I will say, like, I'm not in that locker room, so I don't know what's going on for sure. I know when I was there, like I tell people all the time, Ohio State is a sacred brotherhood, but each program, like, or each team has its different sacred brotherhood, if that makes sense. So, like,
Mhm.
whatever I was there, whatever happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. Like,
Yeah.
we don't care about like what other people were saying or thinking. Like, it didn't even matter if it was former players or former coaches or whatever. Like, whatever is going on with us, that's how we keep that sacred. Like the people that are in the building and the players and the coaches. Like, obviously we respect and we love our fan base and former players and all that stuff. But whatever was in that team, like, we were the ones that were grinding together in the off season and doing all that and had to go through those hard games and, you know what I'm saying, play through those games and play through injuries and whatever happened, whatever adversity we had that year. So whatever happened in the past 4 years, I mean, obviously it didn't work because we lost, but that's within them. I don't know what was said, what needed to be done, what needed to be changed. I'm only from outside looking in, so I will say that. But I do feel like you don't need motivated to play this game, like you said. So whatever they need to do, they need to just do it. Like, because we need to win this game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing them lose to this team. Like, especially when we got the better team. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
What about schematically?
Hmm.
The run, pass was what defined last year. It kind of played right into Michigan's hands. Michigan did
Yeah,
a great job of making us play Michigan football,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
What do they have to do this year to kind of change that? And from a defensive perspective, from a defensive mind, like you, someone who's played at the highest level of football,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think they need to air it out more on first and second down, spread out this defense a little bit, or
Uh, I think last year they should have. And last year, like you said, they played their game. And I didn't even realize last year they didn't even have their best corner on the field, which is
Mhm.
crazy to me. Like, we definitely should have been throwing the ball more. But this year, obviously the run game, stopping the run is going to be a big thing. And once we stop the run for Ohio State, once we stop the run, like, it should be a cakewalk. Like, because our DBs are really good, and I don't think Bryce Underwood is that good. I watched a couple games, excuse me, of him throwing. I don't think he's that good, and when he's under pressure, he definitely is not good. Like, he threw two picks to Northwestern, like, and I know we're way better than Northwestern. So I feel like that's the key to winning this game is just stopping a run. Obviously, it's toughness though, like I said before, mental toughness and physically toughness. Like, we gotta dictate the game with our toughness and our mental toughness for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, I guess if I could ask you a question, man, that brotherhood, right? Like we can talk about gold pants, we can talk about winning the Big Ten, we can talk about playing national championships, but even at work now, like I don't worry about those things. I just look to my left, look to my right, and I think about the people I'm working with and how I don't want to let them down, and I want to
Exactly.
be the reason why we have success. And I was like intrigued more about like that
Yeah.
brotherhood. So if you could give us a little bit more, like who was your ride or dies, who was your guys' game planners, like who was your motivators?
Yeah. I feel like, well, it's like I said, it's different every year because we have a different team, but I would always go back to 2016, like that defense, like that was just my favorite defense. And like most of those guys who I came in with, and then obviously a couple of younger guys, but that defense was so like close and so tight knit. Like, we had that, like you said, we had that brotherhood to where we didn't want to let each other down. It was not about Gareon going out there playing for Gareon. It was about Gareon going out there knowing that Malik Hooker is back there behind me, so I can trust him, and he can know he can trust me. You know what I'm saying? It's those things like that. But again, it goes back to also the off season. Like, you grind with those dudes, so you build that brotherhood naturally. Like, it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, we're teammates, we got to be like tight. Is a thing where like we are naturally already just getting close because I see you over there struggling through this workout. Let me help you. Or if I'm struggling this day, you help me. We're competing in the weight room. We're competing on the runs. We're competing, literally competing, and to make times. Like, we would go against each other, DBs versus DBs, DBs versus receivers. Like, we're all out there making each other better. And I would say one thing that transition or that I lost when I got to the NFL, which I will always appreciate, is the locker room after a workout or the locker room after a game. Like we would stay in there for hours and just talk, laugh, clown, like joke, anything. Like once I got to the NFL, and I remember Urban saying that, he was like, it's not the same. Once you get to the NFL, it's, everybody has their own lives, families, and all that. Like they're leaving the facility as soon as practice is over. Like nobody's chilling and talking and doing all those things. So, and really not like going out to eat and all that. Like we try to do that in NFL, but you just have too many different people with different things and different lives. Like, cause everybody's growing, got families and egos and all that. Like college is just, it was way more like tight knit and close knit, like a family. It was more family oriented.
Who was that kind of junkyard dog that if you had to take him with you in a back alley where, you don't know what's happening in the dark? Who's that guy you're going to bring with you on your defense?
I ain't gonna lie, the whole defense, like literally, like obviously I'm gonna bring like the D line, but I promise you, like the whole defense was just, it was just nasty. Like everybody played hard, everybody was just a dog, everybody was really confident. Like we just had that fire to us. Like I literally have cleats, my cleats from the Team Up North game. I had everybody from the defense that year sign them. I just wore them like the other day to my workout, but
Oh, that's awesome.
that's how important like that team was to me. Like we were just that close. Like I wanted to have something that just replicated like that defense with me that I could keep forever.
No, that makes total sense. That's kind of how I kind of view work. I know it's not the same as it's playing big time football, but yeah, man, just letting down my brothers like that I work with, man, when we're grinding. And same thing, like we hang out after work for a good hour just to have that. Hey, we got through the grind. Let's just chill and let's make fun of each other and BS a little bit and have some fun. Yeah. To me, that's always like, for me, that's what's always been my favorite thing about being part of a team.
Yeah, for sure. Because you can't do anything in life alone. Like you gotta have a team for sure, and to have people that you trust and feel comfortable with, like that's the best thing. Because I feel like that's when you perform the best, because you got people around you that you can trust and feel comfortable with.
The Rod, he's got another question for you. Which Michigan game in your career stands out the most, and what moment do you think of first when looking back at this rivalry?
Definitely that 2016 year, double OT. Actually, it was number 9. He made a play on me, and I missed a tackle. And I remember I made a play basically to save the game on defense. He did the same thing. He motioned out and motioned back and ran like an angle slant, and I broke it up. And they tried to say it was PI, but it wasn't a PI.
Oh yeah.
But I remember making that play, and then obviously when Curtis scored and we won the game. But that was my first time ever being a part of a field rush when we won that game. So that was always the one that stood out to me. And then LeBron and all of them were at the game too, and that's like one of my favorite players. So it was a really cool game to be at.
How close were you to the first down? Was it this close?
JT?
Yeah.
Oh man, they always gonna try to say we didn't get that first down, man. They're always hating.
It was said best at the win. Ohio State wins.
And that game was so lit.
Oh, that was awesome. Was that the loudest you ever heard the shoe?
I think so, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was definitely lit. Like I said, man, that crowd rush was just, I've never been a part, like I've seen it on TV, but to be a part of that, like, because that was the only time I think I've ever been a part of one. Yeah, it was just crazy.
Was it a little bit scary being down on the field and you all of a sudden there's 100,000 people around you?
I think I was just so like in the moment, I didn't even think about it. Like I didn't even watch that last play. Like when Curtis scored, I don't remember who was next to me, but I remember I was literally like, I'm not watching, just tell me who we won. And I was like this the whole play. And when I just heard everybody, I was just like, and I just ran up and I just see everybody rushing, and I just was going around like just talking to students and people all over the field. It was fun.
Yeah. I got a funny story about a field storming. We were covering USC at Notre Dame. Me and Steve were.
Okay, good.
And of course, USC I think upset Notre Dame, or it was the other way around.
It was Notre Dame upset.
Yeah, Notre Dame upset USC. Duh, makes sense. But anyways, offense storming the field. Steve's trying to make his way down there, and like the wall to the field from the stands is up there.
It's high.
And Steve, bam.
Did you tear something or break something?
No, I felt like I was like, man, I broke my hip or something. This is crazy. I got back up and I walked it off for a couple of days. That was good.
That was pretty great.
That's
I was like, I'm gonna
crazy.
be a 30-year-old breaking my hip. Like,
I was like, all I know is like I don't want to do an instant replay of that, so let me do this a little more gingerly.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that was bad, man. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it. Oh man, so we got to get back in more of this team up north talk.
Yeah.
You know, I just got back from the Woody Hayes Athletic Center today. The
Mhm.
team seems like they're all locked in. I mean, they're not going to tell us anything. They're not going to give us any one-liners. But you saw kind of Jeremiah Smith on the Downs to Business podcast. I don't know if you saw it or not, but he was on there and he said a couple of things. First of all, he said he's going to be ready to go. Do you think that there's any possibility that there's a little gamesmanship in holding some of these guys out, or you think it's more just making sure that they're ready to go for the stretch run? You know, because it was against UCLA and Rutgers. So Tate's out.
I didn't even know that he was out until I did a podcast yesterday. I didn't even know he was hurt. I don't watch football for real like that. Like,
All right.
well, I watch a lot of film, but I
Mhm.
only watch like film on college when people like tell me like, oh, look at this game, or if I'm
Yeah.
doing like interceptions, like I do film reviews of interceptions. But I don't watch sports. Like I've just always been that way. But when I heard that he was hurt, I kind of thought about that. I was like, I wonder if they're like keeping him out to play in this game.
Mhm.
I mean, but if it was a thing where it was like he actually was hurt, I mean, you never would know. Like you said, they don't tell anything, so I don't think we'd ever know. But I mean, I would do it if I was a coach. Like, no need to put him out there and wearing him down when he's like kind of inflamed or kind of sore, or has like a slight strain or anything. Like when you want
Mhm.
him to play in this game and you're really trying to win this game. Like, I mean, it's not cheating. It just makes sense. Like they do it in NFL all the time. Like if you're
Mhm.
about to play in this game, I'm not gonna practice all week, or I'm gonna have limited reps or whatever. Like you have to get the player ready for the game, you know. So
And really, if you're planning on going very far in the playoff, it's
yeah,
like an NFL schedule now. So you have to kind of have that NFL
yeah,
mentality
you
to
gotta
get through the
preserve.
season.
Yeah, I only made it to the playoff once in NFL. It was when I got traded to the Texans, and none of us played the last game because we already clinched the playoffs. So it's like doesn't make sense. Like you're gonna do that, so why not do it in college? You're just trying to keep them healthy. Because football, you never know. It could happen at any play. You could be out there feeling great, and boom, injury happens. So it's just smart. It's definitely smart.
For sure.
All right, so it's Saturday before the game, right? That clock
Mhm.
hits zero on that last game. You're coming in to like your final, Ohio State Michigan game. Like what's
Mhm.
in your head? Like what's that Sunday morning feel like? What's that Monday? Like what does that week kind of entail as far as like from your own perspective?
You saying like the week before the game, or
Yes, like
like
that
the?
week on Saturday, the game ends, you played Purdue or whoever, right?
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
then Sunday it's on. Like what's that week like for you, like as a person?
Yeah, I mean, at Ohio State, when I was there Sunday, we already hear it's time for war when we walk in the building. Like we got practice. We always practice the day after the game. We do like well, obviously watch the game that we played, and then we'll do like our light lift, and then we'll have a practice with just helmets. But as soon as you walk in the building, you see stuff crossed out. You see the stuff, the X's on the ground, the helmets, and in the urinals, and it's time for war blaring everywhere. Like it's already up. So even if you like woke up and you were like not even thinking about it, you don't remember, when you walk in the facility, you gonna remember. It's like it's already there. Like, and I feel like that's a good thing that Coach Meyer did. He surrounded our minds, because I think he majored in psychology. So he was big on like mindset, and he was big on like surrounding us with the right things and like preparing us the right way, just surrounding our minds with anything that he felt was necessary for us to prepare and win the game.
Very cool.
How'd
Very
you
cool.
prepare for the game? Like, were you trying to like use that hype, use that energy, or you're just kind of like chill mode?
I'm a chill guy. Like I think differently about like preparing. Obviously, I work hard to prepare. I study and do all those things. But like when it's like time to practice or play, I don't listen to music. I don't rah rah. I don't I feel like I waste energy doing that. That's just me. That's just my thought process. Like I'll be out there trying to preserve my energy because I'm covering top class athletes every play. Like, and I don't come out of the game, so I gotta save as much energy as possible. Like, I don't even really talk shit when I'm on the field. Like, unless a dude talking to me, then I'm gonna talk shit back. But like, if we on the field, I'm not even like I'm gonna celebrate, when I make a play. But I'm not like out there yelling and talking and doing all that stuff because I feel like I gotta preserve my energy so much being a corner. But other guys, like they're different. Like everybody has their own thing. But me, I just I don't take it any different. Like I prepare, I watch my film, I do what I need to do, take care of my body, and then I'm ready on game day.
Being a pro, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's fair.
for
So
sure.
who's the notorious shit talker that year or your time in
Yeah.
Columbus, man? Who was that guy that was you knew he was going to cause the
Uh,
trouble, cause the fight?
Man, we had a lot. I would say I remember Craig Fada. He was one of those guys. I think the whole linebacker room was just crazy. Like Craig Fada, we had Joe Berger, Chris Worley, Jerome Baker, Raekwon McMillan. Like I feel like they just talked the most shit. Like always, our linebacker group. It was just always just. But I feel like it was because Fick was he was always the linebacker coach, so he just had them like just ready to talk shit and just back it up too. But they were
Yeah.
always the guys that were just flying around, talking shit, hitting people, special teams players of the week and all that stuff. Yeah, they were just grimy guys.
You guys back then were really part of what started BIA, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Coach Combs definitely started that with Roby and Duran,
Mm-hmm.
Grant, Bradley Roby, Duran Grant, and Armani Reeves in that group. I
Mm-hmm.
was a freshman that year. I don't know if they did it before that. I feel like it was that year. They might have did it before that, but I definitely think Coach Combs was the one that started that. And then
Oh
all the
yeah.
corners that he had were like coming out year after year, like it just kept going up and elevating for sure.
I mean, you had Marshawn Lattimore on the opposite side as you. You guys were
Yeah,
both, in some cases, rated 1 and 2 in the draft. So as
yeah,
far as cornerbacks go, man,
yeah,
how did that feel at practice, man? Just like how did that feel in games? You kind of knew you had the other guy's back, and he had yours constantly, and you could
yeah,
stay on that island like schematically. You
yeah.
guys could just lock up whoever they had, and then the rest of the defense could run around and make some plays.
Yeah, no, it was definitely making me better having him on the other side. And people don't know or unless they paid attention to it, me, him and Denzel were all on the field at the same time too, because I ended up playing nickel that year.
Mm-hmm.
Um so what I tell people is me, Marshawn, and Denzel are all competing for the starting spots that year. Mind you, I'm a returning starter. And I tell people all the time, my spot was not solidified. I have Denzel Ward and Marshawn Lattimore competing for it. Like I can't just act like, oh, I'm the starter. I get the spot. Like they're coming for my spot. And those are top 10 picks in the NFL draft. Marshawn going 11. But like I had to make sure I was on my shit. Like they made me even better because I had to make sure I secured my spot and they couldn't like just take my spot. But even with that, we were still brothers and best friends. At the end of the day, it was never no beef. It was never no jealousy. Still, we're watching film all the time together, doing extra releases after practice, all that stuff, trying to make each other better. And it ended up working out because we were all on the field at the same time. But that defense, like you said, we played cover four man press. We didn't
Uh-huh.
play. We weren't allowed to play off. Like so, it was basically cover zero. When you play cover four in his press, that's cover zero because you don't
Mm-hmm.
really have safety help because they're filling the alley on the run and they're playing number two or three vertical. So knowing that we had that, it was basically letting everybody else do what they need to do and make plays. So it definitely was like a confidence thing that we had to like come across during training camp and obviously during the games during that season to really be like that confident in us two to lock down so everybody else on the defense can make plays. And I feel like Jim Knowles' defense, I want to say this too, because I watch his defense. That's kind of how his defense is, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to have really, really good corners to play a defense like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember telling him, like, watching Penn State, they don't have those type of DBs. So people are thinking, like, oh, it's his defense that shitty. Like, it's not. He does need to understand if he doesn't have those guys, like, to be honest with himself and try to switch up the defense. But his defense is actually a good defense, but you have to have some lockdown corners to be playing cover 4 press. Like you just need it for sure.
Yeah, if you don't have the Jimmies and the Joes, you can't run. You gotta come up with
Yeah.
some schematical
Yeah,
changes, right?
the
And
more
Yeah.
complicated the scheme, the better
Yeah.
players you gotta have. That's just
Yeah,
what it
exactly.
is.
I gotta ask you a little bit about the shared tunnel
Yeah.
up north. Did you ever run into any trouble in that shared tunnel?
I did it. I was up there for that game when 2013. That was my redshirt freshman year. When they were getting into fights in the tunnel, and then Marcus Hall got in the fight and got thrown out, and
Oh yeah.
Dontre and all those guys. I
The
was just
famous
trying to
salute.
be, I was trying to be warm on the sideline because I wasn't playing. But no, I never ran across anything in the tunnel. I mean, you hear like chirping and all that, but not me. I never heard
Yeah,
nothing.
that was this rivalry always has something like that. There's always some type of fight. There's all some type of drama. There,
Yeah.
something going on. Do you expect something like that? Some little fisticuffs going on after
Yeah.
play a little bit.
Oh
this
yeah,
weekend?
yeah. There's always gonna be some cheap shot or something, some little push or like punch or something during this game. It's just that's what I'm saying. It's just that rivalry. It's supposed to be like that. Like there's gonna be a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty once or twice, maybe a couple times in this game. Like it's just that's how it goes. Like it's just it means that much to each program or it should, you know.
Yeah, Temple of Brutus is calling you out, man. He's saying in 2019 here in Houston, we called him Conley Island. Yeah, that we've been called Conley Island before that, I believe. But you
Yeah.
just own the Jaguars receivers. Quarterbacks were fools passing your way.
Yeah. No, that was one of my best games for the Texans. Yeah. That game was live. We played in London too. It was a good game.
Oh, nice.
I went to London twice in a month. It was crazy.
How was
My
London? Did you have a good time?
it was all right. I think going for a game is different because you don't get to experience like everything. And then me going, the food is horrible. I will say that. I don't care what anybody says. They have one
English
of the
food.
worst foods places.
I
That's
agree.
terrible, but it's nice. But me going twice in a month, it was just awful because my sleep schedule was really messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to practice and meet and eat and play, it was rough.
Yeah, you can't
All
be
right.
living down in Houston and going out to London for food. Boy. You're almost in the Mecca in Houston.
Man, Houston
So
is lovely.
the flag planting last year, what was your
Uh,
initial impressions of that? And if Ohio State does win, do you think they do anything like that? Do you think they deserve to plant the block O at midfield?
I don't agree with the flag planting. I don't believe in disrespecting people.
Mhm.
I mean, if they do it, that's up to them, but I don't think they should do it. Especially like this day and age. I don't even think you should do it back then, but like this day and age, it's too much stuff going on. Too many people are shooting and taking things to heart too seriously. Nobody really fights no more. Like it's just dumb. Like you see all the stuff with spitting in the NFL. Like it's just
Mhm.
so much disrespect going on now. It's like back in the day, it was like even if you were competing or didn't like somebody, it was just like a mutual respect at the end of the day. You know, like you wouldn't disrespect somebody that you don't like. You just tell them you don't like them, whatever. All right, but it's not disrespectful. You don't spit. You don't plant flags. You don't do it. It's just like, I mean, obviously too, social media is casting these fake gangsters like tough guys. You know, like it's just I feel like it's all for show. Like when do we start flag planting? Like if you think about it, rivalries back in the day and football back in the day was way nastier and way more brutal,
Mhm.
and they weren't doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't make sense. I think it's just for show and to look tough and look cool
Oh yeah.
and for to go viral. Like that's the main thing now is to go viral. Like
And if you
and
can't even actually plant the flag on fake turf, it just
yeah,
kind of
turf.
looks stupid.
Like I don't even get it, man. It's just I don't understand it. I
I
feel
want Gary
old when
on
I
here,
say it,
man.
but I feel old because I say it, but I'm like these kids
Mhm.
are just so soft mentally now. Like they try so hard to be something or not, or try to be tough, or scared to be embarrassed, or scared to lose. Like they're just so worried about what other people are thinking and to put on a show. Like it's just
Mhm.
annoying.
I
And
can
to
see
me, it comes
myself.
back to your original point: is be a professional, right? Like, yo,
Yeah,
Mhm.
play the game.
yeah,
We respect the game. We respect each other. I am here to beat you. Don't get it wrong.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
I'm not here to like. You can have a competitive rival and not just be disrespectful. Like,
Yeah,
there's some
exactly.
people that I want to beat, but I'll still shake their hand.
Yeah, exactly. And then even with that, like talking shit on the field, like people do that all the time. But like there's a fine line of like talking shit. Like don't be calling me out my name or
Mhm.
talking about my family and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You could say I suck, you could say I'm ass, whatever. But it's just like it's a fine line of disrespect and just competing and talking shit, you know? Like
Mhm.
I just feel like people just take it too far nowadays.
Here's my thing. I think, myself now, of course, I would respect the other team. I wouldn't be out there doing the flag planting. But at 19, 20, I
Mhm.
absolutely would have planted that flag if I was. Absolutely would have. And the thing that I don't think should have happened and I don't respect at all was just staying out there afterwards. I mean, they broke it up,
Yeah,
Sawyer removed the flag. At that point, leave. Just get out,
yeah,
man. You did your thing. It's time to move
yeah,
on. You had your celebration, you took your pictures. Look, like they kept going at it. And I mean, pepper
yeah,
spray had to be brought out. I mean, that was a
yeah.
nasty look.
But also, I mean, if you're gonna do something, you better be ready for all consequences though. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Oh yeah,
respect Jack for going out there and doing what he did. Like, you're not about to
absolutely.
plant a flag on my fucking field. Like, that's
Yeah.
how it's supposed to be. And if you want to plant a flag, don't be thinking like ain't nothing about to happen to you. If you're gonna put your hands on somebody, don't
Mhm.
be thinking like nobody's gonna hit you back. Like it's
Yeah, don't
just
come to my house acting a fool.
yeah, be ready for that.
Yeah.
Even at your own house, like be ready for retaliation or responses or
Mhm.
consequences for every action that you do, whether
Mhm.
good or bad. Just be ready for
If you're gonna fuck around, you're gonna find out.
it.
I got one more question for you, and
For
this is
sure.
going to come from the perspective of being a cornerback, man. How
Mhm.
would you defend J.J. Smith, man? What would you do with Jeremiah? Like, how would you approach him as a wide receiver?
Ooh.
With me, I think it would be depending on uh what like going into the game, like the game plan and like what we're doing and down the distance. I would definitely switch up what I'm doing with him. I would fake jam, I would quick jam, I would not jam, I would motor, peer step. Like I said, it would depend on film study, but with him, I feel like you got to be physical, but be physical where you know you can and don't try to be over physical because I feel like guys do that with bigger receivers. They try to be over physical and lose their technique without or not without they lose their technique within trying to be too physical, like just
Mhm.
trying to play a physical game. I would just switch up what I was doing with him because he's a great player. Um, and I feel like he studies who he's going against as well. So just switching up techniques and just locking in technical wise and being fundamentally sound. But I definitely can lock him up. I can lock anybody up.
But
Oh,
here's another thing.
It'll be a
Obviously,
good
wide
matchup though.
receivers come out of Ohio State like crazy, and corners do
Yeah.
too. Do you think like that's just a good pairing? You got great wide receivers. Now you got great corners. You guys just compete against each other, you know,
Yeah.
for
No,
years.
yeah.
Obviously to set you up for the NFL.
Yeah, that's how practices are. Like I said, Coach Meyer always made practices super hard, and I tell people all the time because they're like, "Who the best receiver you guard in college?" And I always ask, like, in a game or just overall, because the best receivers were always at practice. Like that's made the games easy. Like, and I tell people, like, our scout team was Joe Burrow, Dwayne Haskins, Terry McLaurin, Paris Campbell. Like, we didn't have no scout team. Like, that's who we were going against. Scout team. Like, it was no scout team. Those guys were trying to earn spots, so they were going hard, like every play. Like, so that's what prepared us for games. And then obviously ones on ones, like, we were even more prepared. Like the best receivers always, like I said, were in practice, so games were easier. So it just made us and then even after practice like we're always doing like releases and extra work against each other like it was so competitive like that's why I feel like a lot of Ohio State players like last in the league because of that competitive nature that we come from already like we don't shy away from skill on skill or best on best like we got a big sign in the weight room that says our best players have to be our hardest workers like other schools scout teams just a walkthrough basically like there's no plays off for us in practice.
I mean the old verbiage, iron sharpens iron, is
Yeah.
real and it's alive today. I mean, I don't think this team has been this stacked both on offense and defense. Probably the best in the nation. I'm thinking they're holding a little bit back on offense just because of the schedule.
Yeah.
Man, that makes everyone better. Like you said, even across the field, when you had Marshawn Lattimore there, it made you better. You think
Yeah.
this team is just getting better at practice every single week?
Yeah, for sure. They are a complete team, basically. Yeah. I feel like their practices are probably really competitive because of those guys. And then like you have the two best players in college football on opposite sides playing against each other. Like
Yeah.
I know it's making everybody better. I know and those are two examples of the best players still working like they're not the best players, still working like they're have no stars or like they're not all Americans. That's the main thing. Like those guys are the leaders because they are the top tier and still working like they're trying to get there. That's the main
Mhm.
thing. And that's gonna just permeate through your team. You don't even have to say anything. That's just and leading by example.
So on the outside looking in, as Asian posturing says, they won't plant the flag because the culture is too good. The
Yeah.
culture at Ohio State seems to be second to none. That 5-star players, 5-star families, 5-star culture is what we like to say.
Yeah.
Do you see that on the outside? Can you tell that inside the Woody Hayes, the culture is just the best of the best?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the standard. I feel like the standard has been, like I said, set before even when I was there. And it's a goal to uphold that standard obviously and then to evolve and get better at it, and just keep it consistent. I feel like that's the reason why greatness is greatness because it's consistency. It's not because we have one good year or one good team that's just professionals. It's every single year we keep doing that, and that's why people who want to go to Ohio State because they want to be a part of that culture.
Mhm. There's only one more question I have for you, man.
Mhm.
And how did it feel to lose to Michigan? Oh wait, you never did.
Four gold pans, man.
That's
Flipped
awesome.
and went to get four gold pants.
Where are those at now?
I have one here, and then my mom has. I think she has two. Either her or my stepmom have two. But
Nice.
they have the other three. But I have one here.
Cool. Yeah. That's
Right
pretty
on.
awesome.
I got one more thing. What's your message to one your fans and then the fans of Buckeye Nation heading into this week and you getting back to the NFL?
Fuck that team up north for sure. But I would just say I appreciate like everyone supporting me through these years as it's been a rough NFL career. But one thing I will never ever like take for granted is the Buckeye Nation. Like I have so many people that just support and just people don't understand how, like all the stuff going on with like the players suicide and all this stuff.
Mhm.
People don't understand how much like it means to just have people to like support mentally. I'm not going through anything like crazy. But just like when somebody just says like have a great day or you're gonna get back into the league or just positive stuff like because you look at everything like I'm not focused on like comments and all that stuff, but you look at it, everybody does. People who act like they don't like I don't care. I don't like you do care. It just depends
Mhm.
on how you respond. But when I just focus really on positivity, and that's what I've been doing the past couple of years. And I just want to say I appreciate it from Buckeye Nation, and even the negative comments towards people that say negative comments for me, they always got my back. Like they're talking shit to other fans, and like people that are talking shit to me, like they just really support. So I definitely appreciate like everybody that's been supporting me, and I'm definitely gonna make this comeback for all my fans and all my family for sure.
Hey man, when you make the comeback, we will be here supporting you. Hopefully we get you back on and you get to, have that big smile and
Yeah,
congratulatory get back on to the professional career because, March 5th, 2025, you got that rod taken out and
yeah,
you feel like a new man.
yeah,
Just keep working, man. Keep grinding. I see the videos on Instagram and everything that you got going and keep working out. You'll make it back, man. And I'm
yeah,
proud of you, because it's easy. It's easy to give up. It's easy
yeah,
to say, I'm done. But football's a hell of a game, man. And you can make it at the highest level. Keep going.
yeah. Thank you, man. I
And
appreciate
as
it.
a fan, I like to say thanks, man. It's such a catalyst. You guys do all that hard work. You put in all that, and we get to watch you guys on TV and go show off and put out that performance. But it's a catalyst, man. It brings all of our friends together. It brings our families together. Like it's a holiday watching Buckeye football, right? And
Yeah,
without that, sometimes you're not checking on your friend. You're not you're not sitting with your brother or whatever, right? Like all that stuff that you guys do gives us a chance to get together and enjoy each other as a family and friends, and also watch you guys entertain us. So thank you on behalf of the fans.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Good luck with rehab. And have a good rest of your day, and happy Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, happy
Thanks,
Thanksgiving.
man. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Bucks.
Go
Go
Bucks.
Bucks.
Appreciate it. Man, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
man. What a humble dude and easy going dude. Just the fact to take his time out in the rehab process to join us, awesome. So if you're not following him on Instagram, on Twitter, go follow Cody Conley's Island. Man, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I almost
man,
said
what a great guest. Like
all
just
the
super chill, super easy to talk to. Like, man, awesome having him on the show. Awesome to get his perspective on the game. Much respect.
So do we want to get into this a little bit? Do we want to get into Michigan? Do we still have time for that?
Yes, dude, I'm always ready to talk some Michigan. You know what?
Bill, what do you think the matchups are? What do we got? Obviously our wide receivers against their DBs. We blow.
So I think it's going to come down to defense, man. Defense. To me, Michigan's going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to go right up the middle. K-Mac. K-Mac is my guy. Maybe Houston, maybe Malone, but I think it starts right there. That's going to be the centric part of this game. Those guys got to be magic. K-Mac has been magic. Just keep that magic going for K-Mac. And then if we can get Houston to play at his ceiling, oh, man, watch out. Like, that's to me is where the game is at on defense anyway.
You mentioned it, but Tywan Malone's been kind of showing out lately. He's been having some good games and kind of stepping it up at the right moment. Like, just ceiling is starting to be reached. It keeps getting closer and closer and closer. So if he steps it up through the stretch run, guys like that can make their way into an NFL team and higher up rounds too. So, and you saw it last year with the way Tyleek Williams kind of worked out, and then he ended up making it drafted high, man, first round.
Yeah, if you can get those two to shut down the middle, man, like then you got the linebackers, you got Styles, you got Reese out there just making sure the run doesn't get out of the pocket. You're keeping Underwood in. Now you can bring the pressure and collapse on him, and we've all seen when he gets pressure, he makes mistakes, and then Downs and the boys are back there ready to clean up. Like I think it starts with McDonald or K-Mac and Malone and Houston.
K-Mac for sure. I'll agree with you on that because I think Michigan is going to try to do their Michigan thing. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to stack it in, especially with a freshman quarterback. The guy that what was he paid $14 million or something ridiculous?
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact number now, but they threw out all this money for him, and he said, "You've never seen a freshman. It's hard to be a freshman. You mentioned it before. You can't be a freshman."
I mean, like you see it, and like I'm not going to trash the guy because you can see some of the brilliance that he may have in the future, but he is just a freshman. This is a Buckeye defense. This is
there has been. Yeah, I mean, all of it's there. Like, are you still there?
I'm still here. I don't know if
I lost you. I'm still here. We're getting a little bit of technical difficulty.
Could be the old internet here on the island.
Right. No, I mean I can hear you. Ooh, I think it. There we go. I think we're solved. All right. Actually, I was trying to look up the weather and I got into another tab. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
and it just froze up the computer. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's my internet. Anyway, let's get back into it. Underwood has not taken a snap under center all year long, and if it starts snowing, that's why I was trying to look up the weather. If the snow comes, he's gonna be taking snaps under center, and he might anyway. Because if they're trying to do that run game and just power football and have tight end, bring everything in, smash mouth football like they always try to do against us, I think we have the defense to stop that. And you mentioned the guy. I think that's going to be an easy game for us. I think the only place that Ohio State is somewhat vulnerable, and I mean somewhat, is very small. is a quick pass game, getting the ball out as quick as you can. And even then it's dangerous because if you're getting the ball out without making the correct reads, one of these athletic linebackers or secondary is going to tip the ball or intercept it. But I don't think how many fourth down stops has this team had? How many goal line stands has this team had? Any team trying to run it up the middle, this is not your typical Ohio State defense.
No, K-Mac has been absolutely dominant, man. Like, you can watch film of him just like he's unstoppable. Like, he's going to get leverage. He is going to push whoever's blocking him into that lane. And he's probably going to shed the block and grab a running back for a loss. Like, he's done that I don't know how many times this year, but he's definitely disrupting the run. The running back's going to have to shade to the left or to the right regardless because K-Mac's coming. Like, you're not going to do too much to stop him. Like, he's just that dominant right now. And I think if you can get Malone and Houston and get on par with that, and then you got the linebackers, obviously, that can close. I mean, the athleticness of the linebackers there, and Downs too, man. Downs' knowledge, like, I think K-Mac just sets up that everything, right? Like, he slows down the play. The running back's got to bounce. You have these super freaks at linebacker, and you got Downs, like a mental freak of the game, and then bam, everything closes in on itself.
And Ryan Day was talking about it on his radio show this week about how you kind of have to play as one and how everything just worked out perfectly with Downs coming in and filling that hole on the blitz. Like, the defense has to be in the right position. The defensive linemen have to hit the right stunts. And everything has to open up perfectly. Like, you have to be able to play as one in order to have plays like that. And this team is doing that, especially on defense. What I'm more concerned about is our offensive line. If this snow happens the way it might, I mean, there's a good chance there could be flurries. But if something shifts just a little bit in that weather pattern, we could see a dumping of snow up in Ann Arbor. And if that happens, oh boy, watch out. Because then
I feel like the weather's been overplayed and a little bit overrated. I think as fans, we try to find excuses for the team. And I honestly am not. Obviously, that plays to their strength. Their running game is easier to use in the Midwest, hence the whole Midwest football being big offensive linemen and big running backs of the pass, right? Like, it's part of it, but I feel like it's more of excuses that as fans like to use. Like, we seen Tennessee come in and brutal cold and we got after it, right? And it wasn't like we were just running it down their throat. Like, we were still airing the ball. I think the wind, you probably need to watch the wind more. That's going to box, like, saying in. I feel like that's obviously moisture can have its role, but I think the wind would be more of a concern than the overall snow or temperature.
It depends. I mean, if there's a ton of snow, then yes. Yeah. A little bit of snow is not going to matter, but I'm in agreement.
Well, yeah, Midwest snow too, boy. That's heavy, wet snow.
Yeah. With the wind, you're absolutely right. If it's windy out, that throws off, depending on how windy it actually is. And I didn't see wind in the forecast, so I'm not real worried about that. But I'm, like you said, it's more about the style of play. Like, are you going to air it out when it's snowing? Not as much, probably. You're going to take your shots here and there, but it's a good thing that Ryan Day worked on that running game all season long and really wanted to pound it out in live action when we were all complaining about it. Looks pretty damn smart now.
The snow can be just as hard on a corner than it can be a wide receiver, right? Like, the wide receiver knows where he's going. The reason you pay a cornerback so much to do what he does, like Conley we had on the show, is to flip your hips and change directions because you're trailing somebody. Like, you got to figure out where they're going, what they're doing, and react to it. Wide receiver, like, you know where you're going, you know where you're stepping. Like, I feel like as a corner, like, you're almost more at odds with the weather than you are as a wide receiver. Now, throwing the ball, that's a different story. But
talking to some of the Michigan fans too, they're checking the weather every day, several times a day too. It's like they feel like they're like that 70-year-old guy checking the weather constantly, farmer, something. Where I'm like, my life depends on this weather. I talked to one of my friends who's a Michigan fan, grew up in Michigan, so he's a legit Michigan fan. And he was like, yeah, man, that's all I'm doing. Like, every break I have at work, it's like, what's the weather like? What's the weather like? Because it does give them a little bit of advantage. Having a big quarterback, too, a 6'4" quarterback that could take those hits. That's where the weather could make a play, too. Ryan Day
is a secret weapon in this game. Maybe that's why old boy was getting warmed up. Get the pitch clock out.
Yeah. I actually was thinking that myself today when they were asking Ryan Day about the weather. And he was like, that's more of a distraction than anything to him. which I kind of agree with. That's noise that you don't need to listen to. You deal with it when it comes, not when it's actually like 3 days before. You don't know what the weather is going to be like yet.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Bring in big
3 days
fans
out.
and
Yeah.
bring in some fake snow company to throw it on the practice field? Like, what are you going to do, right? Like, it's at that point, you can only control what you can control and go from there.
I do think you have separate game plans for that or separate packages that you're going to install, like you said. Maybe Keen Holtz gets a few more package plays or running plays.
Yeah, maybe you're going to have them do 2 or 3, and now you got them at, I don't know, 5 to 8, or who knows.
Yep. For sure. Anything else in particular that you're worried about from the Michigan perspective?
I mean, it's the thing, right? Like, general, it's in Ann Arbor. It's Michigan. They've obviously had Ohio State's number the last few years. And it doesn't matter, man. Like, I don't know, when we're on like the 6-7 game winning streaks back in the mid 2000s, man, like, you have that fear. You know what it was like in the 90s. Like, you know how, like, you just don't want to lose to them. I feel like there's always going to be that general fear of, man, another 365 days. Man, those Michigan fans that I do know gonna have to deal with their bullshit some more. Like, I don't think you ever get rid of that natural fear that's there, because you want to win so bad, and then you know what it's like not to, because you also can be the delivery of that pain to those Michigan fans. So you know what it's like to be on the recipient end, because you deliver it just as much as they give it. So, and that's part of the rivalry, right? Like, I think that's part of the fun is like the friendships and family, like I talked about earlier, but also your opponent too, right? Like, everybody wants to get on to their Michigan friend or vice versa, right? So I think there's always going to be that natural, what if this goes bad?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The one guy that you have to look for is Derek Moore. He's top 10 now in and career sacks for Michigan. Top 10. I mean, that's something for sure. He's been playing for a while there.
He's got 9.5 sacks on the season. He's right there in front of Curry. Curry's got 9, so he's going to be a big time problem for the offensive line that they got to be ready for. So that one's going to be a huge matchup for sure. I mean, Michigan's defense as a whole, like, they're going to be the best combo defense that we have. Like, they're probably just as good as Wisconsin at stopping the run, but Wisconsin couldn't stop the pass. We probably faced some teams that couldn't stop the run but could stop the pass. But they're going to be a general good defense across the board. That's going to be a challenge. It's how do you stack up to that, right? Like, you haven't seen a defense that can do both. How's that look?
You know, after talking to Gareon Conley too, I think it might have been more of just load management to get those wide receivers out too. I was kind of debating that because, the football side of me says, as a player, you want to play no matter what. But when you really have to look at how many games you have to go through, those 17 games or 16 games, that's a lot. That's so much more than you ever had to go through before. They really do have to think about taking those opportunities to take care of their body and make sure they're available to be peaking at the right time.
I don't think it's purely load management, because you just talk about sitting your starters because you want to rest them, right? But I think there's it's football, right? These are grown men like smashing into each other for 60 minutes at full rates of speed, right? Like, you've seen that hit that J.J. Smith took when the tight end and the guard missed that block. He got smoked, right? Like that stuff lingers on, right? And he's probably got a little bit of this or a little bit of that because he's playing football. And I think it's a combo of, a little bit of what you're talking about and a little bit of resting up and kind of letting those things heal.
So we should see them both this Saturday. Arnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith make an entrance in Ann Arbor and make a difference in the game.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about JJ. I think JJ is going to be really close to 100%. I think his is more of what you're talking about and not what I was talking about. Tate, I'm still a little confused. I think he's definitely going to give it a go. He's going to suit up. He's going to be ready. He's going to be with his boys, right? But I don't know if he's really got something seriously going on and it just doesn't go well and he goes out there and gives it a try and has to be benched. But he's going to give it a go, I think, for sure.
Bo Jackson's high school's in Cleveland. His experience should have no issues running in slippery if required. I agree with that. Having some Ohio boys, number one, helps with playing against Michigan. Number two, it helps with the weather. We have bad weather in Ohio. It's not going to be a problem. And the cold, they played in cold last year. Guess how good they did in the cold against Tennessee? Yeah, whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
Go ahead and come out with your shorts off. See what happens. And Temple of Brutus here in the locker room says, great commentary, AJ. Kick-ass show. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all, from West Houston Burbs. Happy Thanksgiving, my man.
Yeah. Hey, that Texas food, man. We were talking about it earlier. Woo, that food down there. Mecca, man.
That's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
I actually haven't spent any time in Houston. I'm not going to lie.
I feel like the food down, like you're close enough to like New Orleans where you're going to get that Cajun feel, but you still get a look like good Mexican food. You get that Tex-Mex, Texas barbecue, man. It's a spot. It's like right in that perfect zone right there.
You know what we forgot to ask? What his favorite Thanksgiving side dish is. So what's yours?
Oh, man. That's always a complicated question because it depends on who's cooking it. But I feel like green bean casserole gets a lot of slack. But if you know how to cook it, you know what you're doing. That stuff is delish, right? Like you got to put some work and love into it. But I think turkey, man, I don't know. There's just something about leftover turkey or just having turkey sandwiches, all the traditional stuff that you do with all the leftover turkey. I always look forward to.
I got to get back to some games, maybe see y'all and do some interviews. Absolutely, Temple. Look us up. Temple of Brutus, man. Get back to Ohio, man. I moved away for 11 years. 11 years, yeah. And then I was like, man, it's time to get back home. It's nice to be back home. You know, there are things that are different about Ohio. The weather's one of them, man. When it starts to get this time of year, woo, buddy, it'd be nice to get some sunshine. But you know what?
I'm missing the weather, man. I'm out here on this tropical island, and I know it sounds like paradise to everybody, but man, give me some Midwest weather, man. I gotta get tired of being hot. I get tired of being sweaty. Give me some of those chill sweater weather, man. I think when you live in Ohio, like you just don't appreciate it at the time. You think there's just greener grass, but man, I tell you, I miss it all the time.
You got a score prediction? What do you think the score is going to be?
I'm gonna go with let's go with the 31-13.
31-13. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lower score game. What'd you say?
31-13. I think we get hot late in the game. Halfway through the third, we start putting it on.
I'm going to go 24-10. Yeah, so not that much different, but
yeah, I see a game like yours, but I think Underwood is going to have a turnover late that's going to take your 24 and turn it into a little bit more points. But
see, I definitely think that he's going to have a turnover. And he's going to be due for at least one, being a freshman quarterback, being out there against this defense that's going to be absolutely confusing to him. So I think they're going to have a different game plan. They're going to have to get him out on the edge and run more, like run pass options and bootlegs. And then maybe even quarterback powers. That's the only thing I can think of that I would do if I were them. I mean, they don't really have wide receiver threats. He can't throw real well, and our defense is just the best. I mean, first in the nation in almost every category.
Yeah, I mean, Marsh is getting hot for them. Marsh is starting to step up big time as a wide receiver for him. Obviously, Marshall, what's his health look like? What's our defense look like against Marshall? Like, he's definitely looking talented despite all the stupid things he had to say on his little conference there. But, you know, he's a talented young man who's playing football. He's got a hurt shoulder. Obviously, I hope he's as healthy as can be and lose this game. But I think Marsh and Marshall are definitely stepping up into roles that make that offense a little bit more potent than what they were.
There's been a couple people that have mentioned it. And for some of those watching that may have not watched what Marsh said, give us a little paraphrase.
Oh, so he was pretty much saying that he's from Ohio. He's from Cincinnati area. And when he went to Ohio, he went to Michigan. He liked Michigan better. And then he were convinced the Michigan people were better people and that he wanted to play for a more honest program, if you will. It's summarizing it in a way. You can go find the video and get the exact quotes. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it was kind of the generalization of that. And he just wanted to play for a higher character team.
A higher character team. I don't think that there's a higher character team out there than Ohio State. I really don't. Like we talked about the culture in this program, excellent. You heard Downs today talk about how, you know, he's just blessed that Jesus put him in this position, man. This team is very solid, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually. Everything that they say and do seems to be the right approach. No one's getting in trouble. I don't know where any character situations are coming from and how you can even say that about this team, because these guys.
I mean, there's gonna be good and bad characters on both teams, right? They're all full of people, and people have different character, and that's just the way it is. But if you have to completely be around only a person who can, make you have good character, then do you really have good character? Or are you just the mercy of the people around you? Because you can have great character around bad people. But I'm not saying what he said is right, but it's overplayed.
Doug's staying up late for us. Doug Shepard, he's got 35-6. Man, I like that score. I could see this being a blowout. I could see us just, when it's time to turn up the gas, Ryan Day follows through on what he said. He turns it up. I could absolutely see that. I'm just saying, based on past experiences, this is going to be a lower score than we would think.
I think it's going to be a 17-13, 21-13 type of game, like most of the way through the third quarter, and then it starts to get a little ugly. Like, I think they struggle to score, and then we start slowly racking on points, and we start slowly pulling away. It's not going to be like bombs over Ann Arbor, right? Like, I don't think it's going to be like that or anything. It's going to be a slow adding to that lead as we progress forward through the game.
I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw someone say you're going to know in the first two possessions who's going to win this game, because in the first two possessions, if Ohio State airs it out, even just a little bit, game over.
I think it's the middle eight. I think when coaches talk about the middle eight, I think that's where it is, right?
That's what they did last year in the middle eight.
I feel like the middle eight matters the most. I feel like your energy after halftime, like, you can go in confident, right, with a lead, and then you come out sluggish in that first 4 minutes of the second half, and that can cost you. But I think you can also flip the game 4 minutes going into the half. I feel like that's like the most important. I like what you're saying, and I can see what you're saying, but I still think the middle eight is where the bread and butter is.
I like the middle eight quote, but I think that's only half of it. Because Lou Holtz once said it's the first 5 minutes of the game, last 5 minutes a half. First 5 minutes of the third quarter, last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Those are what win you the games.
Now, can you do the impersonation of Lou Holtz and say that?
I cannot. There is no way I'm going to tell you the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of the half. That's my best one. I
mean, it's probably not wrong. Like, I don't think there's a wrong way to go about it. I think you're going to tell a lot from the first two possessions. I feel like sometimes when a game like this, when it's a rivalry game, that first 2 minutes is like everybody needs to just calm down, like breathe. They haven't got into the game. They haven't gotten to the flow. So I think, like, in a game like this, the first 2 minutes can maybe lie to you. But maybe in a natural game, but I think this one is like, everybody's so up here, and they have it probably leveled down to where the game energy is going to be at.
I see that, but you can also exert your will mentally in any of those 5 minute chunks. Like,
I mean, that was our playoff run last year. That was Ohio State's playoff run last year. Yo, we're just gonna punch you in the mouth.
Yeah, we're better than you. 10,
we're gonna 15 minutes of the game, and you ain't got nothing after that.
Mm-hmm. And that's the attitude.
They tried.
That's the attitude I want Ohio State to come out with, and that's the attitude I think they have to come out with. They have to shut it up quick. All right, we're the better team. We're going to get out early, and we're going to stay up the whole time. We're going to shut you up first 5 minutes. We're going to shut you up the last 5 minutes a half. And then we're going to come out after the break, and we're going to shut you up again. And if you get close, you know what? Towards the end of the game, guess what? That pick that you were talking about, Underwood throws. All right, now it's time to shut you up some more.
Yeah, I think we're going to pull away, and I think it's going to look like a big lead at the end. I just think there's going to be some initial scaling issues where we haven't seen a defense that can stop both the run. So I think that's going to slow down the offense a little bit. But we're still going to get points. We're still going to score. They're going to really struggle to score. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And then once we get like that scaling issue, then I think we start to pull away just because our defense is so stout. Like, I don't think that they're going to catch up to the scaling issue because our defense is just going to be lights out. But I don't know. That's how I feel about it. And I'll take it. It's just win, baby. I don't care if it's by 1. I don't care if it's in overtime. I don't care if it's by 50. Just get the W.
I think we match up well with the strength of their defense, too. Their strength is on the edges, and we have very good tackles. Philip Daniels shows up in big games. You saw what he did against Collins in Texas. Collins was basically non-existent. And if they start talking shit, he gets even more nasty on that offensive line, which is what I love about them. And then you have Austin Sareveld on the other side. Just
Yeah, I think Texas is a good comparison defense wise. It's just been so long since we played them. Like this, I think the scaling, there could be a little scaling issues. Like
it might take a minute.
Yeah,
and that's why I think the offense has to show up from the start. They just have to, exert your will right from the start. Treat it like it's Tennessee. We're better than them. Come out, show them we're better right off the bat.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to set up the pass to set up the run. Like, I don't think we're going to run into the teeth of that defense and set up the pass. Like, it does need to be the opposite. Maybe with Keenholz and where you got more blockers than you need to defenders. Like, maybe that's like a way you could start off the run game. But I feel like the passing game really needs to get cooking to keep the running lanes open and keeping the safeties and the corners on their toes, keeping them guessing. So I think you're right, setting up the pass, coming out, throwing the ball first 2 minutes. Like, I think that's got to be key.
The run on first and second down and the pass on third, it's a failure of a system for this particular offense. And if you go look at Brian Buckeye stats, what he has on Twitter, check it out. He wrote a paper about it too. Like, all the stats are there. What we see in our eyes, what we feel as fans when you're seeing that run, pass approach.
And you go with what the game gives you, man. Like, they are banged up at linebacker. True. So, like, maybe the running game is it in this one. Like, maybe it is a magical running game for Ohio State, and you just get what the defense gives you, right? Like, they're banged up at linebacker. They've struggled with health through the back end of this season, just like Ohio State. I still think we're in a better position health-wise than some teams are. So, I don't know. Like, maybe this is the one. Like, their injury at linebacker is going to affect their ability to stop the run, and then maybe you just lean on that. Like, I'm not saying that there's not a wrong way or a right way to do it. All I know is Day is a mastermind, and I definitely cannot lecture anybody on how to run an Ohio State offense. But I hope and pray that whatever it is that's right, that they know it, figure it out, and move to it.
Well, he kind of laughed when he was asked about the team meeting from last year when Mitchell Melton kind of called him out, like, who's calling these plays, who's putting us in this position, is what's been thrown out there from the book about and he was like, we all need to learn from stuff. We all need to learn from our mistakes, coaches, players, everyone, and we all gotta function at a high level, and we all gotta win the turnover battle out on the field. We need to block well, we need to get off blocks well. It comes down to the fundamentals in a game like this. But the way he answered that question, I was like, I really like that. And if you haven't listened to his interview from today, I would go and listen to it, because it sounds like he learned the lesson from last year. And you saw it against Tennessee.
I think all of the Buckeye Nation has said it and seen it, right? Like, you've seen the product that came out of that. And a lot of that was learning that you're talking about. Like, Ohio State and Ryan Day have been a total different program, a total different team after that moment last year. And I'm excited and ready for him to apply that on Michigan. So I think you're absolutely right, man. Like, he feels different. The team feels different. The tension isn't there. And whatever the reason it was for all that tension, like, it broke. It broke the tension. But it broke in a good way, because we put the tension back on the fence, and now it's up stronger and better than it ever was.
And I think the team, they want to be a historical team. They want to go back to back. They want to get that trip to Indy. They want to beat what's looking like it's going to be Indiana in Indy, and then make it 16-0 back-to-back national titles. Can you imagine that? The first ever in the history of Ohio State. That's what this team's focused on. They're focused on them, their goals, and it's hardware from here on out. Gold pants for this game, Big Ten championship the next game, hopefully, and then bowl trophies, man.
I don't want to talk about playoffs. I don't want to talk about no Big Ten championship game. I just want to talk about beating Michigan, man. Let's change the tide. It used to be so good. So good. You knew that you're going to go into that game. You knew we were the superior team. You knew we were most likely going to win. Of course, you still have that Tim Biaka-Batuka stuff back in your mind, but like, it was so gone, and I just want us to flip that for them, for the coaching staff, for the state of Ohio, all of us fans. Like, we just got to bring it back to the Buckeyes, bring it back to the good side, baby.
It's time. It is time for the W. And Gareon Conley said it the best. We need this W. We need this. This one matters. It matters more than anything. This is the game. We get to see it in just a few short days. That's all we have left.
I can just hear, just think about going in Ann Arbor, and I just think about Troy Smith to Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
At the 2-yard line, just brings back so many good memories, and the people are around then. And man, I'm excited for this game on Saturday.
It's going to be
Sunday. It'll be Sunday for your boy, but same.
It's time to buckle up, man. It's just around the corner. Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. Until then, though, I think we got to call this a show.
Guys, a good show, man. It felt good to get back on here and talk football.
Oh, I love you. I love it that you were able to join, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks to Cody. Thanks to you, man. Everything you guys are doing on this show, it's absolutely phenomenal. You and Matt, too, man. That's like my favorite Buckeye show to watch, and it feels good to be back with you guys and for a little bit here talking ball.
Yeah, I don't know. We might get another show in this week. Probably not, but check us out morning after. Always the morning after, 9:30. Sometimes it's just a tad bit later than that if we don't get everything ready to go the next morning. Rewatch the game before we get on and talk about what we thought, man. Collect our thoughts. And the morning after better be a positive morning after, because I don't want to do another show like last year.
Morning after, I might be coming on here a little inebriated to celebrate with you.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Peace out. God bless. Take care.
God bless. Thanks, everybody on the chats. Thanks for having me back, Steve.
Yeah, no problem. Peace out. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too, brother.